With compassion for ourselves and for the other person, we can go beyond the difficulty and find healing. Grand Rising, if you are a first time viewer, welcome. My name is Joseph Long, and I thank you for tuning in. To all my returning viewers, hello, friends, and thank you for your support. Today's topic may not resonate with everyone. With compassion for ourselves and others in today's meditation, we will investigate a difficult relationship with an open heart. But before we start today's meditation, I ask that if you haven't already done so, to please click the like button. It may seem like a small gesture to you, but to me, it means a lot. Thank you. All right, let's begin. I invite you to take a moment, if you need, to adjust how you're sitting. Make yourself comfortable. Be at ease. When you're settled, you might just begin the simple practice of breathing. So you breathe in and feel the lungs a bit. And when you breathe out, just consciously letting it go with each breath. Just notice if there's tightness or tension in your body that is ready to be released. Breathing and feeling yourself right here. Honestly and gently finding your way into this moment. What we'll be doing is practicing with someone where there's some difficulty. And then I ask you to do some journaling. So for now, let your attention go to a relationship that matters to you, in which you feel some tension, conflict, resentment, separation. Not a relationship where there's trauma. And sometimes when we're invited to do these kinds of exercises, our mind scrambles around, trying to find out the best person to work with. Don't worry about that. You have plenty of time in this lifetime to bring this practice to other people. Just think of someone where there's some tension, tightness, reactivity. You get more in touch. You might bring to mind a situation that really show this. When you do get triggered, you could see the setting you're in. If you're inside, see what the room looks like. Remind yourself what's going on. If it's a person you don't interact with in person, remind yourself in terms of the online, Teams, or Zoom relationship, or however you are in touch. What goes on? What gets communicated? If you see in the person, what does their face look like? Notice what comes up with the primary response that you are aware of in you. Anger, dislike, judgment, blame, and let it be there. You're really doing the basics of mindfulness here. You're noticing it. You are allowing it. Recognize and allow so you can make that U turn. You can bring attention to your own experience. Bring it with some interest and some gentleness to begin to investigate. And again, you might sense what the worst part of this is for you, what most sets you off about this. What's the most disturbing or upsetting? And you might even be noticing what you are believing when this is happening. That this person, if they cared, they wouldn't be acting this way, or they don't understand. They're not seeing me. They couldn't respect me, or whatever it is, that they're going to hurt themselves, that they're causing harm. Check your body and sense the strongest feelings. Often it's more than just one feeling. You might have anger and dislike, but there may also be hurt or despair or shame or just a sense of powerlessness. And you might just ask yourself, what's the feeling that's most difficult to feel? Or that I'm most unwilling to feel, but that's really here and wants attention? What most wants your attention? Feel your body, your throat, your chest, your belly. You may feel it helpful to put your hand on your heart or wherever the feelings are strongest to keep the attention on the body and also begin to offer some care. Continue to investigate. What's the unmet need here? Ask yourself, what were you hoping for? What were you wanting to experience that didn't happen? What needs can you identify that are unfulfilled? Is that the need to be seen, to be understood, to be safe, respected, cared for, or loved? Begin as you sense whatever the need is that's the strongest, to really call on yourself, the most awake part of your heart, and offer compassion to yourself. Again, having your hand perhaps on your heart and sending whatever message of care would be most healing. It's going to right to the right part of you that feels vulnerable. For some, it helps to whisper out loud to themselves, even using your name. It's okay. I'm sorry and I love you. Trust your goodness. Trust you're loved. You belong. Whatever begins to soften and open, let it in. Take some moments to notice the increased presence that's here in whatever way it shows up for you. Maybe some more space or clarity. You might feel more connected at home in your own being. And if not, if you feel stuck in some way, it's fine to keep offering that compassion to whatever is here. If you feel some openness, some tenderness, this can be when you shift your attention to the other person. Find this kind, open, tender presence. Begin to look at this other person to deepen your understanding. You might see the situation that has come up and imagine how they would be experiencing it. How would they describe what's happening? What would it be like for them? And the way to do this is just start imagining. What was that person feeling that was difficult? What were they wishing was different, hoping for from you? What painful belief might they have been running through their mind? Sensing into this other person's unmet needs, what do you need to feel more safe in those moments? More respected, loved, important, understood? And as you sense that person's vulnerability, where their wounds are, their needs, you might feel your own heart's care. Just open to whatever response feels natural, offering some wish for that person. Sense your heart as a field, a heart space that can include in a tender way this other person. You might take a moment to imagine that person's feeling that their needs are met. If that person's needs were met, how might they behave and be different? Taking some breaths now, just feel your own presence and sense of who you are when you are here and present, when your heart includes another. You might be interested to sense what other choices might be open to you, what else might be possible in engaging. You can continue to reflect and take 2 or 3 minutes to journal, writing down for yourself whatever feels important here. what's difficult in this process, and what you're learning, what you want to remember. Or you can choose to remain in this space of openness and compassion and remain in this connection to your light. And as you write, know that a light shines from within you, blessing everyone you meet. Compassion and kindness are present in everything you think, say, and do. You see life as a beautiful garden and the world's people as flowers of all colors and sizes. Living with compassion means accepting all people equally and extending compassionate understanding to all. Through your example, you share the truth you know. Compassion is constant and enduring, manifesting in countless ways. You have felt it many times in your life as an unexpected kindness or relief from a troubling time. It is your privilege to be the conduit through which compassion flows into the world. Compassion shines through you radiantly, blessing all. And so it is. If your eyes are closed, you may slowly open them. Namaste. All right. So I see you, Miss Pamela, on YouTube. I can always count on you to be on live with me on YouTube. Grand rising to you, and I'm reading your comments as you touch and agree. I am a recipient of God's grace. I give thanks. Yes, you got the message. I think you got the message just by that comment. All right. And on Instagram, I have my sister, Miss Shannon, on here. Grand rising to you. Oh, I see Woman Beauty. IG is on here. I think this is your first time being on live with me. So I want to also wish you a grand rising as well. Thank you for tuning in live. Oh, she wants me to check a message of hers. Okay. Miss Shannon, thanks for including the journaling. And I thought about you when I added that in my script. I knew you out of all, if no one else would appreciate that part. So you're quite welcome. So with that being stated, I know this was a little lengthy one, but I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you found it inspiring. If nothing else, I hope you found it as a brief moment of relaxation. And that, my friends, concludes today's practice. And I'm curious as to how today's experience was for you. If you feel comfortable to do so, please type in the comment section or DM me about your thoughts regarding this type of practice. Did you get anything from it? Did you not get anything? I'm curious. I would like to know. This is how I know which practices to do more frequently, what kind of demographics I am speaking to. So I appreciate your feedback. All right. Either route, if you remain throughout the practice, I want to thank you all for your participation. And know that we will all join together again for another practice tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube and Instagram channels. Know that I love you and I appreciate you. Peace and blessings.